Okay, everybody, so welcome back. This is Ian. It's the 6th of February, 2022. And in this very simple system, I'm going to show you how to go from 0 to 5K per month in recurring monthly revenue as a digital media brand, an online agency, or a web consultancy whose focus is selling services. So I know that many folks in our community are looking to scale up a digital media brand that sells services. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do this and also invite you, if you're part of our community already, to take part in a 100-day challenge where I will actually work with you directly to go from 0 to 5K or much more in only 100 days. And you can do this really regardless of how much experience or current expertise you have. All right, so really quickly, these are the core elements. I've covered this stuff over and over again. It really is quite simple. There's no magic, there's no mystery. You don't need to be some sort of genius or a web wizard or online marketing guru to do this. As a matter of fact, I'd actually argue the opposite is true. Those sorts of ambitions are antithetical to this sort of approach, which is really easy. It's predicated on offering real value to real people using a very scientific approach. All right, so here are the steps. Number one, and again, if you've heard this before, it's only because I only keep repeating this because it's so fundamental to the process of success. So number one, identifying an ideal audience or a quintessential client. This is really the where you winnow down or kind of get hyper focused on a specific target market that you want to work with. For those of you who are building directories or niche communities or marketplaces, it's very easy. You already know who your ideal audience or quintessential client is that you want to sell services to by dint of the fact that you're building a community for those sorts of professionals, right? If you're not doing that, what I recommend you do is either A, pick who it is that you find interesting in the world and target that market, right? So I am very interested in meditation, mindfulness, psychedelics, personal growth, all those sorts of sort of topics. So those are the people that I find myself gravitating to want to work with as clients, which is why we've built things like like our community for mindfulness-based teachers, and that's why I'm working with these sorts of folks who want to teach courses and write books and all that sort of stuff. All right, but you got to pick what works best for you from the standpoint of either professional pragmatism or personal passion and interest. All right. Number two, niche and need. This is where you simply run this audience through what I call niche and need exercise, where you identify something they empirically need to succeed. So not only am I interested in mindfulness and meditation and all those sorts of things, but people in those niches generally stink at marketing. They're usually very shy when it comes to marketing. They sometimes think it's like an ugly thing to be a marketer or a hustler or to push their own products and services. They often have very bad websites or no website. They often don't know what to do when it comes to actually getting their message out to the masses. So it makes a really simple target market for me because it checks multiple boxes. So what's the niche and what do they empirically need to succeed? If you're targeting uh, you know, restaurants or food service, you'll often notice that some of the best restaurants have the shittiest websites or they have no website. I've covered this many times in the past, but one of the directories that I was involved with a few years ago was a sushi directory in a local resort that we really got almost every single restaurant on board simply because they all had they sushi restaurants that had great food, but they had no website. Their websites were often like a PDF that they like ham-handedly posted on a URL, or more often than not, it was like a ordering service like a DoorDash or something like that, that they're, that would be, if you search for that restaurant, you'd find them on that sort of site. All right, so the step 3 is irresistible offers. This is where you come up with things that are so compelling to your ideal audience that it's harder for them to say no than it is for them to say yes. And this is something that if you work with me through this 100-day challenge, I will help you craft, predicated on your own interests and expertise and what you want to do in the world as a digital media brand, web consultancy, or online marketing agency. All right, so you create irresistible offers, and I recommend you stack them in the way that I'm about to show you. And then step number 4 is outreach. And this is the part of the process that most people fumble the ball or drop the ball entirely. Nothing happens until you do something, right? So you have to actually reach out to people to to get clients, right? I mean, you can't do this any other way. You actually have to reach out to the ideal audience or quintessential client that you need to actually get clients. And people really find this troubling or challenging, and it really is mystifying to me that you can't actually build your business unless you're willing to send emails and to reach out to the clients that you want to acquire to build your business. I'll show you something quickly, actually. Let me go to Twitter real quick.